everyone, and welcome back to the Motorcycle Rescuer channel. I was completely overwhelmed with your guys' comments yesterday, positively overwhelmed, guys. I finished yesterday after a couple of days of, stripping this bike down fully and checking everything I know how to check. And I just I'd had enough. And then to have 20 odd comments on what I can check next was just like I said, positively overwhelming, and I'm really thankful for that. I'm going to go over some of the things suggested. Let's start with checking the actual outputs. I couldn't do that yesterday because the battery had died, so I had to put the battery on charge, so that's why I didn't check. I do kind of have faith in the new stator putting out the right output, not so much faith in the regulator managing it. One of the suggestions which does have me wondering is that this needs to be grounded. Now this is what's interesting, guys. So the green ground is within there. Now this surface that it's on, this is where it's meant to be mated. It's a painted surface, and the actual, it's painted itself, you see, the actual thing is painted. So unless it's some sort of specialist paint that lets the earth go through, then I don't think it would be an issue. However, that is absolutely the first job I'm going to do. I'm going to bolt this down securely using both bolts, so that we rule that out. What else did people talk about? All of the earth connecting wires here. Now, people talk about these being crap. They are crap, but they are solid. I've checked kind of everyone. There's a lump there. The problem is they are actually doing their job, because I've tested them all around the bike. So we are getting constant earth around the bike. So they're not a huge issue at this stage. My personal guess right now is that the regulator isn't doing the job. I've got Lisa's Sinis coming back today. I'm going to be chucking her regulator on. My guess is that will potentially solve the issue. If it does, I need to just wrap these wires back up, put it all back together, and then burn it. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what else it could be. So we're looking at earthing properly the actual regulator. All of the wires and connectors that you can see are cleaned. They're cleaned, including all of the earths down there. Cleaned, wire brushed, making sure they're getting good connection. That's the battery terminal, and then the other side is down here. That goes to the engine there. That's been cleaned as well. There's no fuse box on this bike. There's one running fuse, that's it. So there's no fuse box unless I'm missing something, and there's a hidden fuse box. I don't think there is. I haven't checked the wires at the back, guys. Everything back there works. All the lighting system and stuff works, unless there was a dodgy earth. But I think you'd know there was through something else. I've cleaned the ones I can see. That's the petrol tank, and you've got these two connectors just in there. But again, I just don't think they will cause the kind of issues we're looking at. So my guess is the regulator isn't doing the job, the new one. So I can definitely resolve that around 12 o'clock today. But for now, I'm going to chuck the battery in, and I'm going to look for the output of the actual stator. Now I believe you just positive the yellow and ground it, and then you turn the engine over, and then that'll give you your output. I think that's how it works. And then and the same on both, yeah, because they come out of the stator, they come out of here, they come up here, and then one goes to the, do they both go to the regulator, white and yellow? Don't know. One goes to the CDI, I believe. Maybe that's the black green. Anyway, this needs bolting down. Check the battery again now that it's been topped up, just in case it had gone too low to accept charge, and that this is all okay. Connect that. It won't even start without that. Connect it to the engine, and anything else that I can do right now that would help. let's plug and play and see what's going on. Okay guys, so we're bolted down fully here, solid. Now people asked about the wires for the new regulator. So this is the original wiring loom. We've got dark green top left, light green bottom right, and then yellow and white. Yellow and white are in the right place. The only thing that could have happened here is that the greens, so these two match, and then you've got a dark red and a dark green there. So my only kind of slight concern would be that the two greens aren't right. However, these light greens are the earths on this bike, so earthing to another green would make sense. Red is normally a power wire to a dark green, which is also a power wire, makes more sense. So I was considering bridging the two greens, but no, you'd be nuts to take an earth and put it into a red. It would be very rare. So that's that wiring. All the other wiring is the same colours, guys. It all lines up except for black and green, but again, black and green are both earth, so that makes sense as well. Let me bolt up this earth here and chuck in the battery, and then we'll just double check to see what's going on. If we're extremely lucky, then earthing this properly has resolved the issue, and then we just need to put this bike back together, which takes about 14 hours. But yeah, and then all of the little connectors that I undone, all of these, I'd need to really strongly go over them. They can't be left out to the elements, they can't be wet. So right, I need to chuck that on so that we've got our earthing system in place, turn it over, run it, and then I can check the readings. I'll check the battery readings first in case it just happens to be kind of okay now that it's grounded and earthed. That would be so nice, wouldn't it, guys? And otherwise I'll check the outputs here, so positive to earth, and we'll see what the outputs are. I'm sure that will be outputting, I'm sure it will. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. Then we can check the same up here on this connector here to see what's happening. So I think all three should be outputting. One's an earth, obviously. So the black. So going back to what I was talking about before, actually, look, this black goes to earth green. Where does this black go to? This black here without a white wire. Ah, that's going into, I'm looking at the wrong one. So here, this is where we would check our output. So you'd have the same readings going in, and then you should have the readings coming back out, which leads back down to the battery through the it would be through this red, wouldn't it? So through this red. Okay, so the output of the red, which is on this occasion this green, which then at some point, hang on a minute, guys. Right, this is bloody confusing because this bike uses two different colour greens now, even within its normal wiring loom. Right, look at this colour green. That's an earth on this bike. And then you've got, so there's dark greens that appear to be earths, and then you've got light greens that appear to be earths. That's ridiculous. So actually, these two greens could be crossed over. It could be that this one needs to go here and this one needs to go there. It could be that this one needs to be on the red. Oh man, look at that. I can't believe it. This green, look at that. That's an earthing system. And then you've got this earthing system here. Look at the different. So then we go back to this green here being a light green, which I thought black to light green is an earth. That still does make sense. But then we come up to here and we've got two greens. One would be an earth and one would be an output. Right. Okay guys, so this is the only bit you need to worry about at this stage. 12.64. When we fire it up, it should be sitting at over 13 just on idle, and then it should go higher as you rev it, but of course I don't think we've done enough for that to happen. So let's have a look. I'll fire up. So no change at all. Let's check the output of the new stator. It needs to be on. I think that's the right setting. I think that's the default. I could be wrong. Where are we here? Oh, maybe that's not the right thing. Actually, I mean that is an output that ultimately, but right, let's check the other side. So 12. So one's 8, one's 12. So we can now check up in the connector block and see if that's coming out. So let's see. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get it so you can see it. So, let's see what we've got from this yellow. Good. Same output. Right, let's check the white. Good. Same output. So now we should have some output from the what would it be? One of the greens basically. So none on one green, and wow, 24, 28 from the other green. What does that mean? That's really interesting. That almost means that it's coming down. That doesn't make sense, guys. Look. Maybe that's an output, but not enough. 26. I don't even know what that means. So we're now checking the output of the regulator. Oh, that does lift, guys, as I rev it. So the output is lifting. So listen carefully, I'm going to rev it a little bit. So that, I mean, that seems like the regulator's doing its job now. So how can there be an issue between here and there? I don't get that. So if we go back to here, let's check on here. Right, 1 minute, I'm going to put you back down. Sorry. Right, let's get you back at a nice angle. Let's get you back. Right, so let's check here at the end of the, so here. So 12.5. So that is not increasing there. What about this side here? So this is this side before going in. That is not. That is not increasing. So somewhere along this red here, we're losing the power. Ah, hang on a minute. There's one red connector here. Oh look, I made the connection actually, look. So let's see if I rev it now, if that goes up. Nope, no increase. So so the red goes up here. It actually goes back down. What's this down here? Ah, it goes back down to this connector block, which is the diode. This is the starter diode. Still 12.57 there. Increase the revs. No increase in output. Let's get that diode back in. That's the starter diode, guys. Right, so where are we now then? So we're here. We're having nothing up to here, and then one goes into the ignition. Still no increase there. Oh, and then we go back to our wiring loom. This is the bit I need to work out now, guys, where there is no red but there's a green. So I need to trace this green down. This is the green I've been checking, which is there, red, up there. And I think I just checked this and it did rise. Let me double check that. It did rise with revs. So I'm in there at the connector. Yeah, look. It did rise with revs. Alright, guys, so I think we're on to something good there. So in here, this green, we have got it, the output is right. We're outputting the right amount. What we need to do now is get this green to come down, trace it down to wherever it goes. It's there, it's there. I think it goes into this clump, and then it comes down to here. And then it goes up to here. And where does it go to? Is it the CDI? It can't be. This green goes up to here. How on earth? What am I missing? What am I missing? Where does this green go in case I was right about this? Where does this green go? So this green goes to this clump. And then that's just all earths. This is light green, it comes down here. Light green goes to the earth. It's so tempting to snip them and see if crossing them over is the problem, but I think there's a problem. So the red is outputting the right amount. All we need to do is get that down onto the battery. But following this green, at no point does that transfer to the red. So this battery red here, where does this come from? This battery red here goes up here, it goes to that diode, and then it goes into the power. This is really interesting, guys. I mean, I could basically take this here, yeah, run a wire to the battery, positive, and I would get it would go back to how it should be. That might actually be the plan. Bridge a wire in here, just an extra one, don't cut this in case it does anything. Bridge a wire in here, run that wire to there, and then that should become a normal charging battery. At what point, guys, see this this dark green here, if I rev the bike, that puts the appropriate power back to the battery, and we're not actually testing the battery right now, we're checking the output of the wiring. If I rev the bike, can you see the meter, is it on there? Yeah, on the bottom left. Rev right up to 13, rev it a bit higher, it'll go right up to top 13, yes? So, at what point does this green wire then go back to the battery? So it comes all the way back here, and then it comes all the way up here, and then it disappears. It doesn't go into the CDI, it doesn't go into the starter. We've got dark greens back here. At what point do they come back and split into the battery? And then the green, the light green earths just... This is so interesting. Right, here's my theory. I need to take the power from the green, this green here. I'm going to bridge a wire, run that straight down to the battery, see if that goes back to normal. If that's the case, I'm going to run a new wire along the system, along this red, and it will always be part of that system again. That is kind of all I've got at this stage. I'll come back with the outcome. That could be interesting. If my hair is all up and sticky like, then you'll know what happened. So my theory there failed, guys. So I've still got output up at the green. Let me try and get you all in the picture so you can see. Right, so I've still got output here at this green. That does rise with the revs. Okay, so look, 11. Okay, that does rise with the revs. If we then take that output and share it with our battery, which I've done here, look, I've bridged. I can share it through here, for example. Has that done what we needed it to do? No, it hasn't. Now, I wondered if it was meant to go on the earth side. No, obviously not, because it welded. Unless it does, I don't know. No, it wouldn't weld otherwise. So where are we now? If I put it directly to the battery, we do still have the same issue. So look, it's directly on the battery. I don't know if I did that yet. Right, where's our reading? Where's our reading? Right, let's see, directly on the battery. Not going up to 13. Yet back to here, watch guys, back to, oh, wrong one. Back to here. Watch when I rev it. So, at the moment, it almost looks like the battery's dud and not accepting charge. How do I test that? I haven't got a spare. I have actually at home, but that was the battery I took off this bike originally, so it is a bit dud. How can we have power to here, yeah, that rises with the revs, and that not successfully transfer back to the battery? I'm going to go and get the second battery, guys. We'll try that. Okay guys, so this is the original battery that was in it. That was kind of crap because it had juiced down because of this problem so many times. It may fire the bike up. Let's just see off, you know, what happens immediately. It might just be back to normal and it might just be that Warren bought a dud battery, but I doubt it. Same issue, okay. Same issue, so we know that this powers with the revs. Okay, so we've got the same problem on both batteries at this stage. Right. Now, we trace this red. We trace this red, and it goes up to this diode and splits into the green, which is the green and the red we're looking at. Now, this diode is a starter diode. I don't know much about it, but I've checked the green. Let's see what's happening here. Let's check the, we need an earth. Right, we've got the earth. Let's check the, both sides. So the green is, yep, 11 and, yep, so the green side is increasing with power. We've seen that throughout. Let's check the red side. The red side from here is not. So the red side from here is not increasing with power output. Now I think the diode is meant to control that. So that's the only place where the red and green splits. I wonder if I wonder if I popped this out and bridged it with a wire, would that go back to normal? That will be interesting, guys. I mean, we've kind of bridged it anyway from here, haven't we? And that didn't work. I might try that, but it's a bit scary, isn't it? So I've done that, guys. It sparked actually, even with the engine off. Let's see what's going on. Let's get the terminals all connected back up. Driving me nuts. 12.3. All we've done now is we've bridged this and taken that weird diode thing out. Apparently it's a lighting diode. So you can see the meter there, 12.3. It needs to go up to 13 if that was the fix. No, not the fix. Driving me nuts. So guys, looking at the wiring diagram, the red that comes out of the regulator, which turns into a green here, on the online it stays a red, but it goes directly into, it bridges into this red here, and bypasses this diode. So I mean, that doesn't mean anything for me because that is exactly what we did here. We checked it on that basis. I think I'm going to have to strip the back end, which is another pain in the arse. A million bolts holding it on. And just check all the earths and at the back, clean them all up, see what's going on. There's got to be a reason the battery won't take the extra output. The extra output is right there. We're getting it from there. Why can't we transfer it from there to there on two batteries that are both working? What is stopping that? Now I'd understand if I tried to bridge it into this red at some point and that didn't work, but I haven't. I've also tried to go straight to the source. So I've gone the extra mile, guys. I've stripped the rear of the bike just to clean these terminals. I've given them all a clean, they all seem alright. Indicator one, that one there, fuel sender, as in gauge, rear light harness, left indicator, and then this will be the rear number plate light, I believe. Yeah. So nothing there that should really stop the circuit. You know, in reality, nothing there that should cause that problem. So again, to clarify, we've got appropriate output here, we've got appropriate output going into the regulator, we've got appropriate output coming out of the regulator, but for some reason we can't take that and put it back into two batteries. Now I don't know why. How can you have the right outage there and not simply put a wire to there and it transfer it, unless it's an earthing issue? I'm going to continue to clean all these earths. I did these ones really well, guys, so I've got no concern. I actually, you can see I cleaned it and filed it, so they are good. I mean, it's all, you know, wouldn't hurt to do it again maybe, but they are good. It might now just be the odd one or two I'm missing, maybe even under here. Someone talked about the switches. May just have to bite the bullet and have a quick look at that for now. So last remaining connectors are up here, guys. These are a bit dirty, but I'd be shocked if they changed anything. I'll clean all of these terminals and we'll see what's going on. I'll even go into the switch and clean in there, because a couple of people have mentioned that as well. The problem is, guys, that these things are working, so if they're actually working, then it wouldn't easily be an issue. But I will at least clean all the connectors while I'm here. Again, we're getting the right output from the variator down here. Why we can't transfer that to our two batteries shocks me, unless I'm extremely unlucky and there are two dud batteries down there. No, because I would still get a reading from here or here, even if I disconnected that. I'd still get a reading, I'm sure. It's a good point. Will it fire up without this red? And will I be able to get a reading off that red? Don't know. Let me clean all these connectors and we'll see where we go from there. So I did all the cleaning. What I did was I plugged all the lights in, out of curiosity basically. Now something's changed. Now I don't know if it is because of the lights, but my output reading is no longer correct. It's low. It's 4 volts, maybe 5. So you know we've been doing the reading beforehand, and we were getting well 13.9. We are not getting that now. I'm getting 4 or 5 volts. So let's see. Let me disconnect all of that. Let's see if something. That's all it was. I didn't plug the indicators in, or this one. Let's see if that goes back up to the 13 now, out of curiosity. It may not. So at the moment, let's see. That's interesting, guys. So all I did was plug the lights in and the voltage dropped by half. So what on earth? How can it drop by half just by having these bulbs in? Well, I mean, it's not the voltage that dropped by half, guys. It's the output, and I checked it here and here, you know, and it was the output from here with the lights plugged in. So what's going on? But now, again, the output is correct. So the output coming out of here goes up to 13.9 volts. I just can't get the output from here to go into the battery. What about if, I mean, I'm proper clutching at straws, guys. What about if I ran the earth, if I bridged an earth and the output direct to the battery? I mean, then don't we get rid of all of our earthing issues? That's my next step. Right, I'm going to give that a shot. So look guys, that is the output up there between the earth and the feed. With revs it goes higher, of course. And then without revs it drops back down. At idle it's at a nice pace. So technically, taking exactly what I said there and putting it to the battery like that should put the battery in that same position. Now I've not done it from here, I've done it from here, so I've put a glue to an earth here, and then I'll be taking power from here still, this green, and going to there and seeing if that makes a difference. But we can see that we've got output, we just need to be able to get it to the battery. So just to show you what I've done, I have literally just taken what I've done up here down to there. So I've taken the power from here, which we know is working fine. Now I've taken the earth from here, which could be an issue, but I can move that around a bit. Technically I've taken that 13 to 14 volts and brought it down to there. That's kind of all I've done. I doubt it's resolved, but I don't know. Let's have a look. That's the cat wire. That's absolutely crazy, guys, isn't it? Crazy. How can we not be getting that power that we know is coming out, going straight to that battery? It doesn't make sense. Take that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That has the power from the regulator perfectly. It just won't pull it into there. I'm going to switch up batteries one more time just in case. What are the chances that I've got two dud batteries here? I don't have a third to test on. I can't see it, guys. Same thing with that battery, guys. No good. It's not that the battery's no good. And look, once again, we'll take this. Look, rev it up. Off the revs. I'm absolutely absolutely out of ideas. I think, I mean, I've tried everything, guys. I know that the earths are okay, and I've tried multiple earths, and including earthing to the engine. So I know the output through this regulator is outputting. I check it here, it's outputting great. I just can't seem to get that into the battery. That battery's 2 or 3 weeks old. That's the original battery. They both charge on my charger. They charge fully. They seem good. Why can't I take that power and feed it straight into the battery? It does feel like both are duds. I've got nothing else to test it on. I wonder if my car battery will give me enough. It's just too massive, the car battery, but it might. Nah. I've got that car battery there. I think it's pretty dead. I think, guys, I'm going to have to put this one away today. I think it's safe to say I've tried everything you guys suggested at this stage. So there's not really much left. The regulator's working, the stator's working. They're both outputting. The regulator's regulating. It outputs back into the wiring loom. But the wiring loom is then not putting back into the battery. I should be trying a third battery, but I haven't got one. Lisa's going to buy me her bike after, so I'll try that one out of curiosity. I'm also going to try her regulator out of curiosity. But other than that, even if I put a new wiring loom on this thing, it doesn't make sense. One of you have the answer, guys. Let me know. One of you have the answer.